What's going down, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of John Ammo's Archive here on YouTube. So, in the future, John Ammo is going to start branching out on other things. I got a pretty cool post coming about Obama and McCain. I'm very much into politics. I'm not going to tell you where I lead towards that one, but I'm going to put together a really nice one for you and lay all the facts out. And I want to branch out. I want to do more than sports as well. One thing you might not have known about me is, although I do come out here and play this like tough guy role a lot, you know, I really am a nice guy and I do have a little bit of a nerdy side to me. That being said, John Ammo is a huge comic book, comic book fan. You know, I love that whole Spiderman, Superman, Batman sort of fantasy thing. Yes, I know I do have a very, very suppressed nerd side, so don't give me too much shit for it, guys. That being said, I put together a top 20 list of the top 20 greatest superhero movies from 20 all the way down to number 1. We gotta go through it quick, and I only got 8 and a half minutes to do it. So without any further ado, I'm going to give you a brief description why I think what movie should be where. And there are, I did put together above 20 too. These are the best 20 movies of all time, superhero movies. Only Marvel and DC. No Transformers, no G.I. Joe, no Hellboy, none of that stuff. The 20th best superhero movie of all time is Batman 3. Back in the day, this barely cracked the list. As we know, Batman 2 and Batman 3 were both fell very, very short of Batman 1. Nevertheless, with Batman and Robin and Arnold Schwarzenegger and Mr. Freeze and some pretty cool special effects. Number 19 is the original Hulk. Not a great movie, terrible storyline, but it had really, really cool special effects and animation. Unfortunately, they didn't hire a Marvel fan, so he kind of branched out and went off on some stupid shit. He shouldn't have did it. The remake was much better. Number 18, Batman 2. If you recall, in the 90s with the Penguin. Once again, not too great of a movie, but there's a really, really lack of good comic book movies in the last 10 years, so unfortunately Batman 2 cracked at number 18. Number 17, the original Superman. Not the one with the guy who broke his back, unfortunately Christopher Reeves, the original one. That cracks the list at number 17. Some old school special effects, not that great of a movie, but it introduced us to the Superman platform. The 16th best superhero movie of all time is Daredevil. Now keep in mind there's two versions of Daredevil. You have to get the remix in the black box. The original movie sucks. But the one in the black box, the special edition remix, is actually a pretty decent movie, even though it has Ben Affleck, and Ben Affleck sucks. He does a pretty decent role in Daredevil, though. 15th best movie of all time is Superman 2 from way back in the day. Kal-El, the three bad guys attack Zod, and the other two. That was my favorite one from back in the day. I love those three characters. Unfortunately for that movie, a lot of other movies have caught up to it as far as graphics, special effects, storyline goes, but it was still a classic, and it was the best Superman from the original Superman series. The 14th best movie of all time is the new Superman. So a little bit better than the old ones just because of the special effects. I didn't particularly care for this movie. They didn't really introduce a good bad guy besides Lex Luthor, and I need something more powerful like in the first movie. You know, somebody that can go toe-to-toe with Superman. It did have really cool special effects, and it had a couple cool scenes, but it wasn't that great of a movie, to be honest with you, the new Superman. The 13th best movie of all time, Spider-Man 3. Love the first two Spider-Mans. Spider-Man 3 had some really, really cool special effects. The introduction of Venom, amazing. When the Sandman became the Sandman, amazing. Had some really cool fights and some really cool battles. But unfortunately, they tried to cram too much information into one story. The character Venom should have been introduced and completed all in one story. There was not enough room to give Sandman's origins, Venom's origin, and all that other stuff they threw in. They sabotaged their own movie by trying to add too much to it. In turn, they made it too confusing, and a lot of people did not enjoy it. I personally kind of liked it because I'm a big comic fan, but I could see why a lot of people got confused. The 12th best movie of all time is the original Dark Knight. Now, Not nearly as good as the second one, but this one didn't crack the top 10 because it dragged on too long. We didn't get to see Batman in character until the very end, and that's kind of frustrating. We want to see Batman a little bit earlier. Although it was a great storyline, don't get me wrong, I still needed a little bit more for you to crack the top 10 original Dark Knight. 11 and 10 movies, best movies of all time. Fantastic Four the original at number 11, and Fantastic Four 2 at number 10. I thought Fantastic Four 2 was a little bit better. I like the Silver Surfer being in there. A little bit better special effects. I thought both of those movies were pretty good. Entering the top 10, I'm doing pretty good, 5.5 minutes. At number 9 is X3. Now, ladies and gentlemen, my favorite comic book and my favorite comic characters are the X-Men. X3 fell a little short, though. I wasn't down with killing Jean Grey and Cyclops at the beginning of the movie. Wasn't as good as the first two. Still a good movie, but no Sabretooth. Missing out on some characters, and it seemed like the plot was a little too rushed for me. Still a good movie. Number 8, Iron Man. Iron Man was a great movie. Awesome special effects. Robert Downey was amazing. He fit the part perfectly, probably because he's an ex-alcoholic himself, but he was a perfect Tony Stark. Number 7 is The New Hulk. Great movie. Edward Norton did great, much better than the first one. Actually followed the storyline. We got to see a lot more of the Hulk, had a much better plot. Number 6, the new Spider-Man Part 1 was a groundbreaker, amazing movie. Could have did a little bit without of the Mary Jane plot. Kind of held up on the Mary Jane plot. Love scene for a little bit too long. Wasn't as good as Part 2, but was a very good movie, and it set the stage for Part 2. So number 6, Spider-Man. Number 5, Batman, 1989, the OG. Who can forget the Jack Nicholson as a Joker? Wait till they get a load of me. Not as good as a performance as his predecessor, Heath Ledger, but he didn't have the same character role. His role wasn't supposed to be as dark and deadly as Heath Ledger's, so the number 5 best movie. Got a rush here. Number 4 best movie of all time, comic book movie, is Spider-Man 2. Amazing, amazing, amazing. The scene in the train with Dr. Octopus, the movie, perfect example of how to start and finish and get the right amount of information in and not put too much in like Spider-Man 3 did. So Spider-Man 2 was everything that Spider-Man 3 wasn't, except for the special effects, because Spider-Man 3 did have great special effects. The number 3 movie, X-Men 1, and the number 2 movie of all time, X-Men 2. I liked X-Men 2 the best of the X series, personally. I liked how Magneto was kind of captured in that little cage and how he kind of broke out. And X-Men number 1 kind of set the stage. You know, when you see the first one, just like you see the first Spider-Man, you see the first X-Men, you're wondering if they could pull it off. You see that they could pull it off, and then the next one you knew was going to be a blockbuster, and it was. So I say X-Men 1 at number 3, X-Men 2 at number 2. The best comic book movie of all time, ladies and gentlemen, I don't mean to be hopping on this bandwagon here because I'm an X-Men fan way before I'm a Dark Knight Batman fan, but there is absolutely no denying the new Batman movie. It's absolutely sick. This guy, Heath Ledger, and my mom tries to come to me, well, hey, everybody just went to see the movie because he's dead. And I said to her, well, Ma, he's not going to get nominated for a Best Oscar, Best Acting Award for nothing. I mean, not to take anything away from Christian Bale or Morgan Freeman, but all time, out of every single superhero movie I've ever seen, nobody fit their superhero or supervillain character more than Heath Ledger did. I mean, when he said, "Why so serious?" You got to see it. It's fucking nuts. And that being said, surprisingly, Robert Downey Jr. is number 2, who fit Tony Stark's the best that I've seen out of any other character. So that's my top 20 list of all time superhero movies. Again, I'm not hopping on the bandwagon with this new Batman thing, but if you guys haven't seen it yet, you got to see Joker pistol whip fools. Like it's pretty sick, man. He's literally kicking the crap out of people. So again, John Amell, The Archives. I got a special presidential debate coming up. I'm gonna keep this ball rolling, and then I got a special week 1 preview with the Eagles-Steelers game or the Cardinals and all that good stuff. So stay tuned. Amell Archives out.